On to our final couple, Nastia and Derek doing the Samba. I think most people know I was a gymnast my whole life, and so I always look forward to Nastia and of course Derek. Love Derek. This was obviously fantastic and amazing, and I don't even know what to say. I loved it. For me, if I was going to critique her at all, because I can, because she's so good, and because I know gymnasts and how we work, it would be because she's never done it before. More work on her hips a little bit. She was a little bit. It's a new movement for her. That's all.
It's a new movement. It's a whole different thing, and learning that flexibility not only in your hips. A lot of it really stems from your back, creating that width and creating that just flexibility. It's coordinating the hips all the way up to the back, and I think from being a gymnast, it's so here at times, so it can look like that rather than like being here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but that being said, incredible job last night. And what I loved about her rumba, even though the week before, the way she kind of settled into her weight. You always see that on female celebrities. And, I thought Derek did an incredible job for the limited amount of time that he has with her as well.
He had 2 days.
Yeah,
essentially.
That's really, really tough. And it was cool for us because, all the couples were on the stairs while they danced. I don't know if anyone could tell at home, but, they had us all waiting on the stairs because the elimination was straight after.
Right.
And I didn't know where Derek was. I just saw her. Because I was on the bottom step, and I was like, where is he? And then she's standing there doing all this hips. I'm looking on the floor, and I'm looking in the I'm like, where is Derek? And then all of a sudden he comes flying from the band like a bat out of hell in his maroon pants and no shirt, so fast. I was wondering if he was kind of late for his cue because he came flying out of that smoke. Yeah. But Attack, I thought the chemistry was a little bit better. I see that's something that they're working on. I got a real chuckle out of in the package. He went to give her a high five and she didn't see it. So he high-fived himself. But she's great. The flexibility with her legs and the power she generates is awesome. But I definitely agree with you. She needs to kind of use her back a little bit more, and she's got to not do the beam thing.
Yes.
Where the eyes are down like this. They've got to be up. They've got to draw.
Got to engage.
That's a huge part in performance. And I know as gymnasts and from working with Sean Johnson and Allie Raisman, that the eyes are down. And another thing that most people don't know about working with gymnasts, they think, it's a gymnast, it'll be easy. When you guys tumble and stuff, you guys don't count. It's not like you go, I'm going to flip on 5, 6, and 7, 8 hands in hand, and then you guys don't do that. You
not even when we learn a routine.
Right.
There's no counting of music.
Yeah, the music is just kind of ear candy. That's really what it is. It's
this is true.
There's no musicality, there's no counts. So, the fact that she is on the beat so well, counting music is really admirable. Sean had it as well. Allie really struggled with that. She could not hear that at all, So that's another thing that I think that is really great to see Nastia do, as well as be flexible and stuff, and then also just the effort, the focus, and wanting to learn how to use her body in a different way, not just relying on her previous skill to kind of carry her through. She really wants to learn the correct skill, and I think that's really cool. And Derek's doing again another phenomenal job considering how little time he has.
Right. Darvina?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this routine. I thought it had a lot of energy, and that's the one thing, you're not seeing her just pull out these tricks as a gymnast. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, where the routine allows for those kind of things, Derek's putting them in there, but he's not relying on that. And she, now you're saying that about the whole timing thing, those routines seem very intricate. It doesn't seem like he's sticking to one kind of specific time phrase or whatever.
She has musicality, which is really nice to see. Just
it's rare in a gymnast.
From experience working with a gymnast, like she's hearing ba ba da 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 da.
Exactly, and she's hitting it alongside him. So I think they did a really good job, and I do think that their chemistry is improving. Week after week. Oopsie.
It is.
It is
improving.
Process, so.
It's improving, and something else I want to see from her, which I can relate to from when I was a gymnast as well and becoming a dancer, is she can perform, but now it's a lot of gymnasts, you don't
external now.
Yes.
Whereas a lot of gymnasts, what I learned with Sean, it was something we worked on. When she would, I remember even in training, we would finish, and she would go to me. I'm like you don't have to do that. You don't do that. She'd finish the dance. I'd be like, great job. She'd I'm like, no, stop it. Here, we're gonna bow with a smile, and you know, it becomes, because you see them, they walk out, the head and the face is like.
You can see Nastia before they go. She was shaking, like the shake out with the legs, and your focus.
On the first week with Shawn Johnson, season 8, she had this beautiful powdery lemon waltz dress on, right? And she's in the wings. She had an updo, and we're about to go out and do the waltz to like a song from Shrek, And then she's standing there, and it's like literally 15 seconds. They start counting down. She's standing, and then she just goes, cracks her neck, jogs up and down like this in the dress, and then before we walk out, she goes. And I was looking at her like, what was that? She was like, it's just my thing before I go. I was like, okay. She it thudded. It was like, dude. I was like, all right, calm down. And then
I wish we had that on tape.
Stop doing that. Stop it.
Oh God, I love it. I love it too. Anna, what did you think of their performance?
I mean, she's getting much better. I'm very excited to see that they're not relying only on her abilities from her gymnastics and her previous training, but she's actually learning how to dance. And I want to give, compliments to Derek on that, but also Henry, because half of the week he's working with her, and he's the one who's actually cleaning things up and
that's a really good point.
Polishing her technique and making sure her arm's in the right place and making sure she does all these little details. Because in the first 3 days that Derek has her, it's more about just throwing the choreography at her, make sure she learns everything, make sure the concept is there. So again, huge compliments to Henry for helping out in such a big way. Now, I do want to address, because she's so flexible and her joints she's double jointed to like an extreme way. I mean, her knees go the other way like a cricket, which is beautiful. But she's like that
which is beautiful, she said.
You know what? It's beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Not a flamingo, a cricket.
Love it.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? So there was a little bit of that cricket jumping up and down yesterday in the Samba, and I think it was a whisk. And I was everything was like fierce and fierce and fierce. And then she did that move, and I was like, ooh, ouch, no, not sexy. So I'm glad that the judges gave the criticism about containing her energy and not just popping everything out. And
Samba's an awkward dance in general.
For her, I almost feel she shouldn't be going to the end of her flexibility. Right. I feel she should always have enough resistance that there's still more to give, so it's not 100%, but there's maybe 5% that's still in reserve, because that will actually come across much stronger and more powerful for her. Because otherwise, she just pops the energy out, and it goes out and out and out, but then to come back from that, because she has such a long way to come back, as her arms and legs just go forever. So I would love to see a much more contained energy from her, a much more contained movement. But then again, I'm nitpicking on Nastia Liukin. So
I definitely
I wouldn't
agree.
be nitpicking on like somebody else, but on her, I actually will.
Because
she can
achieve it. And I think one example I always try to give my partners is when you're moving your arms and your legs, you want to feel like you're moving through water. Like, if you move your hand through water, that has that resistance. And because she is so incredibly flexible, it can have a tendency to look just like thrown. Even though it's not thrown, it's just her joints. So she's got to be really careful of that, creating that line. And you don't need to go all the way up here. You can just go to here and just make it feel really elastic. And to go back to what Anya just said, I really hope that Henry gets another shot on this show as a professional, because what he's doing, he's being a serious trooper. He's taking on Nastia after she's been with Derek for the first couple of days. It's a whole different feel no matter who you're dancing with. He is cleaning her up. He's making her look great. He works exceedingly hard. He's always my first choice for the trio round.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah. He's extremely versatile, and he is eager to learn. He wants to do this. He wants to be there every time, and he always gives it 110%. I really have a lot of love and respect for Henry, and I'm really hoping next season or whenever that they really give him another shot, because even though he did have one go around, unfortunately he was eliminated early and he didn't really get his chance to show what he can do, and I would really like that for him because he deserves it, I think.
I agree 100%. Something that people may or may not know. Nastia's parents were world and Olympic champion gymnasts. Her mother, the reason why she's so flexible is her mother. Her mother was a rhythmic gymnast, and so she's got her mother's lines with the artistic father's side of things. And it's rare to have that in the world of gymnastics, to have both of those qualities. As you know, you've had two more power type gymnasts. Right. They're phenomenal. Their scores were a 9-8, 9 and 8 for 34. Did you guys think they should have more 9s, or was that on point?
I think
thought that was on point.
Look, I think if it had been later, probably would have been more 9s. But I think it's good to kind of, the judges are not being so with their scoring. Like, last season Alfonso got 4 9s week 1. It's like, well,
where do you go from there?
Where do you go from there? You know what I mean? So I think. Could it have been bigger scores? Probably, but I think for right now it was appropriate, and I thought she did a fantastic job. Thought he did an incredible job, and I think it's a good score for week 3.
Yeah, I like that they're leaving room for the rest of the season. You can't start 9s and 10s from early on, and then just where do you go?
Yeah,
where do you go?